really good!
Today, the 2025 Halloween event officially ended. It was an amazing event. It gave us 5 weeks of action-packed content, 4 banned skin crates,
That's what I wanted.
1 new event tower, multiple achievements, and I'm going to give my first ever star rating at the end of this video. The Halloween event is always one of the biggest moments of the TDS year. New challenges, new bosses, and usually a few surprises nobody sees coming. This year was no different. The devs went big, pushed new mechanics, and kept everyone guessing week to week. In this video, I'm going to do my best to cover it all and stay to the very end for my first ever star rating. Admin Abuse Night 1 is kind of hard to cover because it was so short, only lasted about an hour and a half.
What the heck?
Along with the admin abuse, like walking turrets, they gave you a ton of money and everybody basically got a free win right off the bat. And with the free win, you got your first banned crate of the event. The only problem was, if you lived in a bad time zone, you were out of luck and it left you thinking, what did they do to? Admin Night 2 almost had me losing my mind. Gimme. But don't eat the tacos. Stay away from the tacos. Guys, make your avatar small and watch and avoid the tacos. Crap, Pop-Tarts now. Wait, who keeps touching the tacos? Below Natural went full Control-Alt-Delete on the board and I crashed out immediately. Are you kidding me, bro? Not kidding, I literally rage quit. I might jump back on a little bit later, but I'm over this. But once I calmed down and admin abuse was over, I jumped back on and I got the win. Oh my gosh, this was so much more pleasant than the admin abuse. I also snagged myself the second of 4 banned crates. Night 1 was the first real night of the event. It was fought on Outpost 16, and it introduced RNG via the 9 curses. Players quickly realized that money was going to be an issue, and more than likely you couldn't max every tower. And there's no money in this map, dude. Just like Craig and I here, most players figured out pretty quickly that the best way to get eco was duo or solo. Once players started making the switch, Night 1 and the Null Commander started falling pretty quickly. Night 2 and Banlands, not Badlands, Banlands. If Night 1 was the first real night, then Night 2 was the first real challenge. The difficulty spiked pretty hard. You now had 2 paths instead of 1, 6 speed pads launching enemies forward like that stinking Null Beast, flying enemies at wave 5, and the devs even blocked some of the good vantage points on the map. This is where a lot of the average players kind of tapped out. The people who did push through figured out the meta fast though. Golden Soldiers, Golden Crooks, cheap, reliable, early hidden and flying control. And once you pushed through all of that, you finally reached the Null Guardian, the final boss. As long as you had good teamwork, solid placement, and learned which areas of the map to control, taking down the Null Guardian in the end wasn't that hard, to be honest. Night 3 was the final night, and easily the hardest of the entire event. It hit you with 3 paths, and even the first 5 to 10 waves took hours for the community to figure out. Wave 1 opened with massive mobs and high early HP, so players quickly realized you needed meta towers down immediately. Golden Crook, Golden Soldier, Golden Cowboy, and hidden detection as fast as possible. Then by waves 4 to 6, you had to pivot straight into support and crowd control, and by waves 9 to 10, you already needed rangers on the limited clip space or you were done. On top of that, the night threw multiple Null mini bosses at you, the Null Accelerator, Null Engineer, Null Pursuit, and Null Necro, before sending in Chronos, and finally the Rift Walker, with an insane 2.5 million HP on quad. You also had to build and fire the Star Cannon to stop Lord Exo's Rebirth ability. This night tied into several achievements, which I'll cover later. And to show you how brutal it was, by the time the 2025 Halloween event ended, nobody had soloed it. So assuming you managed to beat Night 1 and Night 2 on hard, kept a team together that didn't rage quit and could work together well, and somehow survived Night 3, you have successfully completed the 2025 Halloween event. But it doesn't stop here. To wrap up the video, let's talk about the 2 remaining banned skins and the achievements. As we covered earlier, the first 2 banned crates came from Admin Night 1 and Admin Night 2, but when Night 3 dropped, Paradoxum added a wave of new achievements, and they also revealed how to earn the final 2 banned crates and the Warlock Tower. They also added a few badges that you could earn by going back and beating Night 1 and Night 2 on easy and hard again. The Warlock Tower is sick, and to get it you had to beat Night 3. That was pretty brutal, but the last 2 banned crates, we're talking just nightmare fuel. First, against all odds, you had to beat night 3 with no event and no hardcore towers. It took a while for people to figure it out. Eventually, someone put together the narrator never dies strategy, and it delivered consistent wins. Then there's Death Touch. Death Touch sucked. It was so hard. In fact, my solo guide that I put out got 20,000 combined views. For a tiny channel like me, that's a big deal. And that's the recap. The entire 2025 TDS Halloween event from start to finish, as done by me, SDP. If you're still here, seriously, thank you. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate it. Hit that like and subscribe button, drop a comment. All of it helps more than you know. Now it's time for my official Super Dad P 83 star rating for the first ever event rating that I've ever given for 2025 Halloween. And my first official Super Dad star rating is 3.5 stars out of 5. I wanted to leave a little room just because this is my first event. There were some bugs, but other than that, I love the event. And hopefully every time there's a TDS event, I can do a recap and a rating. I really enjoyed this. So until then, thank you and take care.